What is up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for today. Yesterday, unfortunately, we do have another one kill miss. And I actually talked about this in yesterday's video because we had another one kill miss yesterday, right? So unfortunate back-to-back days where we go 3 out of 4 missing by just one kill alone. The unders were the thing yesterday. Now the overs were the thing today. This game almost went into overtime. The game was 13-11. If the game would have been 12-12, it would have went into overtime and this guy would have hit his over pretty much guaranteed. But this is how betting is, guys, right? Now you've seen over even 2 weeks, right? If you look at 2 weeks, the first 17 days of July, by the way, guys, we literally were on a winning streak pretty much 17 days straight, okay? So I'm telling you guys, what's funny about it is, again, watch over these next couple of days if we keep losing, because people are going to start talking a little bit in the comments, right? People are going to say, hey, man, you know, whether it's negative or whether it's positive, whatever it is, people are going to start saying, hey, man, you know, maybe we should stay away from Valorant, or maybe we should, you know, stay away from League of Legends or soccer or whatever it is, guys. You have to understand, we are up more than 100 units over the past 30 days. Okay, guys? You guys see, I took the screenshot like 3 days ago. 128 units is what we are up in the past month. 50 and 159. I told you guys we're not going to have a 100 unit month every single month, okay? Now, in the 100 unit months that we've had, we have a 15% chance of having a 100 unit month. 5 out of the last 32 months, we've had 100 unit months, and only 4 of the last 32 months, we've had losing months, okay? So is there a chance we have losing months? Yes, that's a possibility. It's a 12% chance. Is there a chance we have a 100 unit month? Yes, it's actually more of a chance that we have a 100 unit month than a losing month right here, okay? So again, over the past year, 2026, you know, over the past 7 months, we're up 227 units. Guys, I update this about 2 to 3 days, every 2 to 3 days. So if you don't see something here tracked, and normally when I don't screenshot things, it's going to be on an app like Sleeper or BETR, just because it's kind of annoying for me to have to screenshot on my phone, bring it over to my computer, show it here. And how I talk about Sleeper and BETR is just every day you do the same thing over and over. So sometimes we're going to have losses and misses. I will say, though, if you don't see something screenshotted, I normally do good about screenshotting things on PrizePicks, but if you don't see something screenshotted, you can know that over maybe after a day or two, it's going to be updated on these graphs here. And these graphs track absolutely everything. That's why I always talk about this slide being the most important, right? You should look at this slide. You should really take in the information that this slide is telling you about. One of the most important things about this slide is look at the record, guys. We have not even had 300 wins so far this year, but we've had more than 1,000 losses. And why is that? Because I play a lot of long shots. I play a lot of 3 and 4 mans, all right? So this is how the game works, all right? So we do have a couple setups. Here's a setup here. I did blur some of these guys out just because I don't want people that just come on and are not on the VIP to get the VIP picks. I think that's unfair to the VIP members that do pay. And also, I'm literally going to be sitting here for the next 10 hours and just taking soccer picks, okay? If we look at PrizePicks right now, I'm on pass attempts. I'm not even on shots or saves or whatever. Pass attempts. Look at how long I can scroll right now to how many props are up right now for just pass attempts, okay? If I scroll all the way down, this is just today alone. I'm sure there's going to be more games tomorrow and Friday and through the weekend. Just today, there's probably 20 soccer games we can bet on, all right? And I said this a couple of days ago where I was like, guys, just because the World Cup is over doesn't mean that soccer vanishes overnight, right? It's the biggest sport in the world for a reason. There's so many games going on at all times on soccer, and it's been our best sport over this whole year, really. So, ton of soccer today. You know, we could definitely have a great day. We've definitely been on a little bit of like a 3, 4, 5 day slump for sure. I would say, you know, right around the 17th or 18th of July, we had winning day after winning day. And then we've kind of been on a little bit of a slump for a reason. Is because we've missed some of these by 1 kill and stuff. But I really want to emphasize the point that, guys, we're gonna have losing days, right? And this is what I said all through our win streaks throughout June and July and all the World Cup, is I said we're gonna have losing days, all right? You're gonna have some ups, you're gonna have some downs, you're gonna get lucky, you're gonna get unlucky. This is all part of the game. And I even said during these win streaks, like, hey, I kind of want to have a little bit of a loss streak. Like, I kind of want to lose a little bit, because what ends up happening is people get their expectations way too high, and they think that every day we're just gonna go up 10, 15, 20 units, which is completely false, right? I've never said said that on this channel. I don't even know, you know, what I'm gonna have for breakfast today, right? I cannot tell the future. I don't know if we're gonna win today. I don't know if we're gonna lose today. I have no idea. All that I know is that we have a system that generates us units over a long period of time. In other words, it generates us profit over a long period of time. This is the past 2 years of me sports betting, okay? So as you will see, this graph goes up and to the right as any, you know, profitable graph goes, but you will see that there's a lot of ups and downs, waves in this graph, and it's for a reason because, guys, it's sports betting, right? You can't predict the future in sports betting. All you can have is a profitable system. And some days you're going to go down, some days you're going to go up, some weeks you're going to go up, some days you're going to go down. Who knows, really, right? Who knows? But I do know we have a profitable system using correlation. For example, I do want to get into one of these plays, which was actually yesterday's pick. We took Brewer Hicklin to go over. He hits. These MLB plays have been really on the money. So Brewer hits. And then I took the LDG, I believe is their name, to go under, the LDG players. And then on this pick right here, but this pick did miss, but you will see these League of Legends players right here that I paired together. These guys actually I took under and they go under together, okay? So it was LDG versus EDG, or LGD versus EDG. Sorry about the confusing names. And if we go into how this game went, I told you guys that this game was a 50-50 game. This is what the odds were set before the game. And LGD was actually favored. They were not favored. They were like 46% money line. So they were like actually a little bit of a worse team than Edward Gaming, okay? But what ends up happening, right? Because again, these are sports, these are esports, so anything can happen. Upsets can happen, crazy things can happen. What ends up happening is LGD ends up 2-0ing their opponent. And again, this happened at like 3 a.m. So what ends up happening is they end up winning game 1, 24-11. So they get 24 kills, the other team gets 11 kills. And as I say in League of Legends, the winning team is most likely going to get about 2 to 3x the amount of kills as the losing team does. So 24-11, that's right about that like 2.5x amount of kills range. Then the second game was 20-11, okay? So again, LGD gets about 2x the amount of kills as the losing team. And this is why League of Legends is so correlated, because you have two teams. If a team wins, everyone on that team is likely to go over. If a team loses, everyone on that team is likely to go under, right? If you look at this team right here, this guy only 2 kills, 2 kills, 4 kills, 2 kills. And if you look at this team, 1 kill, which is a little bit interesting, but then we have 10 kills and 9 kills. So these guys did really good. And then the second game, 4 kills, 3 kills, 9 kills, 2 kills, 0 kills, 2 kills, 6 kills. So this guy is really the only guy who did good in the second game. And everyone else really, really did bad because they end up losing the game. So that's all you need to care about in League of Legends. If you win, you go over. If you lose, you go under. All right. Now, we ended up betting on Leave and this guy, which I don't know how to say his name, but we ended up taking the unders in this game. And because they lost, they go under. So it doesn't matter that this guy had a good second game because he lost. If he won, he might have got 12 kills or something in that second game, but he ends up losing, so he gets 6 kills, and he only got 2 kills in game 1, I believe, right? So he goes under 8 kills because he ends up losing the games. This guy here, only 2 kills, and this guy gets 18 kills because he ends up winning the game, right? 9 kills in the first game, and then 9 kills in the second game because he was the winning team. Now, we also bet on Hang to go under, and he does go under by 1, but it's just because in the first game, he really did nothing, or he did something, but he only gets 1 kill in the first game, and that just is what it is, right? Sometimes you're only gonna, sometimes like all these guys took all the kills is pretty much what I'm trying to say in the first game. But Hang really should have went over, right? And I would have liked for him to go over just for demonstration facts. So hopefully that makes sense, right? These guys win the game, so they go over, they get a lot of kills. These guys lose the game, so they go under and they don't get that many kills. Again, you have to take it with a grain of salt because yes, did this guy go under by 0.5? Yes, he did, but he really should have went over. He should have gotten 6, 7, 8 kills, okay? And it's very similar in this in League of Legends, right? These guys 12 kills, 8 kills, and this is just how League of Legends works. Last thing I want to go over is this play right here, which was actually 2 days ago's YouTube play. And I don't really know what happened with this guy. This guy was on pace. He had like 12 passes in the first 10 minutes of the game, and then he just completely shut down. He wasn't taken out of the game. I have no idea. The last like 30 minutes of the game, I think he gets like 2 passes the entire 30 minutes. It was really weird that he just completely shuts down. This whole team was dominating the ball for the first half, and they just completely shut down and do not have the ball at all in the second half, right? It's soccer, guys. Again, this is what I'm talking about. Like, sometimes guys are going to miss by 1. Sometimes guys are going to miss their pass attempts by just, you know, not getting the ball for 30, 40 minutes of the game, right? It's weird stuff can happen. But again, if you go back a week ago, we were just, you know, winning every single day, right? So this is the ebbs and flows of sports betting, right? Is pretty much what I'm trying to get across. All right, so let's get into the first pick of the day. The first pick is going to be on better here. We do have Kelsey Mitchell. We're going to take her over 19.5 points. Her line is normally 22.5. Yesterday's pick, I forgot who it was. I think it was Alicia Thomas, something like that. She didn't hit. So again, these discounts have about a 70 to 75% chance of hitting if you average everything out. Sometimes they're going to miss still, though, right? That still means there's about a 25 to 30% chance that they do miss, but I would like to take the 70 to 75% chance, and this is why I play these discounts on Better and Sleeper every day, right? If PrizePicks, we try to hit home runs, we try to hit, it out of the park with these 3 and 4 mans trying to get 9x and 10x. We try to hit singles on Better and Sleeper utilizing the discounts they give us every day. They give us about 3 discounts a day on Better and on Sleeper. So that's about 5 to 6 discounts they're getting with these 2 apps. Yesterday was Taco Tuesday on PrizePicks, which is cool. You get about 3 tacos on Tuesday on which is discounts on PrizePicks, but every single day is Taco Tuesday on Better and on Sleeper, which is why you need to have these apps. You can make about $300 a month just tailing the picks and utilizing the discounts that they give out every day. Second pick here is Adam B to go under 24.5 kills. He's playing Spirit Gaming, which is the 2nd to 3rd best team in the world in Counter-Strike. So you're going to see this guy's line, and you might see that he normally goes over and over and over, but when he's playing a top 3 team in the world, he's likely to lose, and it's likely to be a very quick game where Spirit just completely dominates, and this Adam B guy does not get that many kills, okay? So again, you have to be able to understand the matchup and Counter-Strike and stuff, and I really recommend that you guys follow my process, and you guys, how do I put this? Like, so many of you guys would be better off if you take the picks and you just close PrizePicks for the day, or you take the picks and you close Better, right? And like, yes, you can watch the games and root for the players, but so many of you guys just think way too deeply about things, and you need to understand that this is a process that I've been doing for 10,000 bets, and honestly, if you're in the VIP, you need to be able to kind of trust a little bit. Trust that I know what I'm doing, right? We went up 100 units in the past month, 100 units over the World Cup. And you guys just saw on PrizePicks, look at how many games of soccer we have, right? We have like 20 games today, okay? So I'm going to be able to do my thing eventually. We're going to be able to go up to all-time highs eventually. And these win streaks and loss streaks, they're going to come and go, right? Everything ebbs and flows in sports betting. And you kind of learn to not let it affect you so much, because I've seen these ebbs and flows about 40 to 50 times over the past 2 years I've been doing this, where we go on a win streak, then we go on a loss streak, then we go on a win streak. And the people that really can succeed and make this a long-term thing are the people that they just throw their emotions out the window, and they're able to just stick to the program, all right? So here's the first pick of the day. Second pick of the day, very simple stuff. It's pretty much what I do every day on this channel. I'm going to take hitter fantasy score for Herberto Hernandez. We're going to take him over 4 hitter fantasy score. Very simple why I'm taking him over. He's been on a very hot streak, right? So he is facing Houston. Every game he's played against Houston, he's played 2 games against Houston so far in these past couple days. He has gone over against them, and he's on a very, very, very hot streak right here, okay, guys? So he is doing very well. I think 4 is very low for him. And his line is normally set at about 4.5 or 5, right? So you'll see against Houston literally yesterday, right? His line was at 5. So, and then he hits at 8. So why is his line now at 4? It makes no sense, right? Some of these hitter fantasy scores make no sense to me, right? Why is his line at 5 yesterday, and then he goes over at 8, and now his line is down a whole fantasy score, which is a big deal. 1 fantasy score is a huge deal. So that would never happen in the NBA. Like, think about someone's assist line is 5 and they get 8 assists, and the next night they set his line at 4 when they're playing the exact same team. It makes no sense. So these lines make no sense sometimes, right? Like, his line against the Brewers was 5.5, and I think the Brewers are way better than the Astros pitching wise, right? Brewers, his line's 5.5. Now he's facing the Astros. He just went over against the Astros 2 nights in a row. Now they have his line down at 4. So again, I love his line at 4. I love his line at 4.5. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm talking about here. Like, am I the crazy one? Like, it makes no sense. Why was his line 5 yesterday and now it's at 4 when he goes over 3 days in a row, right? Makes no sense, okay? He's doing a hot streak, guys. He's doing well, and let's go ahead and do this. Again, if there's been anything these past couple of days that have been doing well, it's these hitter fantasy scores, okay? Now, next part of this is San Diego versus Colorado, which is in the MLS. I'm taking both these guys to go over together, okay? So 2 guys over together. You guys know the deal here in soccer. We did this all the World Cup. We've, this is pretty much the bread and butter of the VIP at this point, using soccer correlation, esports correlation, or football correlation, right? Football correlation I'm going to be getting into in these next couple of months here, but soccer correlation is absolutely amazing. So we have McVeigh, who's right here, and then we have this guy, and I'm not even going to attempt to say his name, but we have these two guys right here playing on the same team, playing in very similar spots on the field, and they're going to either have a lot of passes if they have a lot of possession or not a lot of passes if they do not have a lot of possession. And the reason why I'm taking their overs is very simple. If you look at San Diego FC, they're at the absolute top of the table possession-wise, okay? They've played 15 games. They have 62% possession facing 15 on the average of 15 games. Now, with that being said, Colorado, who they're facing, also is a pretty good possession team. But what's interesting about San Diego is they're by far and away the #1 possession team, right? You'll see they're at 61. The second, which is Inter Miami, which is Messi's team and stuff, is at 58. So they're like 3 to 4% possession-wise higher than the second best team. And on top of that, San Diego FC is actually a pretty bad team. They're one of the worst teams in the league, which is very interesting. This is a very interesting team in the MLS. Best by far possession, but one of the worst teams in the MLS. And what ends up happening a lot is that if you are losing games, if you're a losing team and you end up losing and you're down 1-0 or 2-0, we saw this a lot in the World Cup. If you're the losing team, you're going to get the ball more. And why that's a fact is because when you're the winning team, you're likely to bring a lot of your players back and park the bus. And we saw this with England versus Mexico. We saw this with England versus Argentina. Argentina even did it a little bit versus Spain once they got that red card. But when you're winning the game, you are just trying to stick around and just win the game 1-0 or win the game 2-0. And you're going to give a team like San Diego FC, that's the worst team, a lot of space. So interesting team here because they have a lot of possession, like Inter Miami, one of the best teams in the league. And they have a lot of possession because they have really good players. But San Diego FC, they just have a lot of possession, but they do not really do anything with it, which is interesting. So I'm taking both these guys over. With that being said, this guy some games gets 120 passes, right? So if he's able to do that, then this guy will also go over. Again, the concept of this is that if this guy's passing the ball a lot, then this guy's going to get a lot of passes as well. If this guy's passing the ball a lot, then this guy's going to get a lot of passes as well, right? Everyone on this team, if they have a lot of possession, is going to have a lot of passes because they're going to be passing to each other, right? This is how soccer works. You have a lot of passes to each other. If you don't have a lot of passes and you have low possession, you're not going to have a lot of passes. If you want an example of this, look at the biggest game in the past 4 years, which is the World Cup finals that happened a couple of days ago. Argentina only has 38% possession. A lot of unders hit for them. Spain has like 70% possession. A lot of overs hit for them because they go into overtime and they have 70% possession in that game, okay? So let's go ahead and lock these in, guys. If you do want to get into the VIP, I have a number of promo codes you guys can sign up with NOVIG, with ONYX, with Dabble, with Sleeper, with BETR, with Rebet, with Underdog Fantasy, and with Kalshi, all right? So text me one of these words. My number is right here on the screen. 512-270-0440, and you can go ahead and get go ahead and text me one of these apps words. Text me Underdog or Sleeper, whatever it is, and I'll have you sign up for these and get you 1 to 2 free months of the VIP. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.